One of the most elegant ceviches that I know starts with fresh shrimp and then adds coconut, green chili, lime, and mint. First thing we got to do is to chop up the peeled shrimp. I'm going to cut it into about 1/2-inch pieces. Now I'm going to put it into a bowl here and cover it with fresh squeezed lime juice. I want to make sure that the shrimp floats freely in here. And then I'm going to put it into the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. That's all I'm going to let it sit in there. That'll be enough to just start to cook the exterior of the pieces of shrimp, but they won't get tough. We have 3 different components that are going to be added to that shrimp that's in the lime juice. One is green onions, which I'm going to cut up into small pieces, and the other is jicama, and I'm going to chop that into small pieces after I peel it. It's got a fairly thick skin on it, so I have to go a little deeper than you would expect with something like this. Now, if you've never worked with one of these young coconuts before, you're in for a treat, but you do need a large knife to be able to get into it. Remember, it is filled with beautiful, delicious coconut water, but we've got to get the outer husk off so that we can get to that really tender, almost formed meat that's on the inside. So you could do it with like a chef's knife if you wanted to, but it's way easier if you will work with a cleaver here. So I'm going to cut down into it, and I'm going to try to expose the part where the nut starts. So when you see some of that brown skin peeking through there, that's the place that you know you want to be able to start to go into it. I'm just going to go around using the edge of my knife here to kind of make perforations, I think you would call it. So start to pry that all up and then open it up. Now I'm going to cut down through it like this. And you see how tender and soft that is? That's the good stuff. That's what I'm going to cut up and use in this beautiful coconut shrimp ceviche. Okay, we've got our jicama, green onions, and young coconut ready to go. And now I'm going to make what I will call a dressing for our lime-soaked shrimp. And it's going to start with a can of coconut milk that I'm going to put into the blender jar. I've got a couple of serrano chilies here that I'm going to just cut the stems off of and roughly chop up here. Those go in with the coconut milk. And a surprising ingredient, but one that I think is just spectacular in this, is to put mint leaves. So I'm going to take the leaves off of the stalk, and this will surprise you too, but in this ceviche it's absolutely perfect. Just a little tiny bit of sugar. So that's going to go onto the blender base, and we're going to just blend it until it's completely pureed. So the shrimp has been in there for about 20 minutes now, and I can tell that it's ready because it's turned white on the outside. It's not translucent on the outside. But if I were to leave it in a lot longer in the lime juice, it can really risk getting tough. So I'm going to pour off the lime juice, except leaving about 1/3 of a cup or so of it in there. Next, coconut dressing will go in there. This is sort of spicy and obviously has that minty quality to it. It looks so rich and so beautiful. And now the other ingredients will go in here. When you taste that fresh young coconut in here, you'll be just amazed because it's got such an elegant texture. Now stir everything together. I haven't added any kind of salt to this yet, so I'm going to give it what I think it's going to need here. Stir that in. I'm ready to serve. I have some mint leaves to garnish with. And there you have shrimp ceviche with coconut, lime, green chili, and mint.